All right, good evening, everybody. And today I get the pleasure of casting a Division E East second round playoff matchup between Icecrown Citadel Knights and Souls and Slowmo. And we're actually going to be moving over to the draft. And we did have Souls, or actually, no, it was Icecrown that selected map pick and decided on Infernal Shrines. Right away, we do see the ban on me and then Asmo with the first round of ban. And again, in Infernal Shrines, typically we see heroes who provide wave clear, objective clear, and able to damage. So heroes such as Sonya, Diva, Hogger typically have high value here. We see Stukov being banned out on the side of Souls in slow-mo. And again, just as mentioned, Sonya, very strong here, banned out by Icecrown. With the first pick, Junkrat, that looks typically, from what I've seen in the past, either it's been a ban or a pick on the side of Icecrown at least. It looks like they're taking away that Junkrat. Junkrat again able to provide poke
the crusade calls
and help with clearing the objective.
for the alliance above all.
We do have Johanna and Anduin being picked up, very strong. 2-3, right, or the 1-2 for the side of Icecrown. Souls and Slowmo follows up with a Brightwing pickup. And so we see the 2 of the 3 contested healers, at least in Division E, with Stukov, Anduin, and Brightwing either being picked or banned in the first phase of picks. We do see the Gazload being picked up from Souls and Slowmo, and the Tacitor being banned from the side. Again, Tacitor able to provide good value, especially if there's going to be a follow-up with the Punisher, but also has a lot of decent wave clear and also helps with the objective. And now we do see Leoric being banned out. And in this, after the second ban, I should say, we do see Blaze being picked up, and Kael'thas. And again, Kael'thas also very strong here. So far we see the front line from Icecrown Citadel Knights being picked up. Waiting to see what tank pick will be coming through. We do see Nazebo and a new Barak to finalize the team for Souls and Slowmo. And again, Nazebo has been seeing more play ever since his recent buff, and even after his most recent nerf, he's still a relatively strong hero.
With every death comes honor. With honor, redemption.
With that, we do see Hanzo being picked up. I don't think we'll see any swaps from my knowledge. It looks like everybody's on the heroes, or the role in heroes that they typically would play. Both teams having, or you can say make a case for a strong lineup or draft on this particular map. I would say maybe the slight edge to Icecrown Citadel Knights in the early game, since we do have Indizebo on the side of Solos and Slowmo, tends to be a little bit slower, but we all know that as a late game hero, definitely scales. So that's something we'll have to look for, is how the early pre-10 or even pre-16 matches go, and what in particular what build Nazebo goes. We've been seeing more after the recent nerf, more Toad builds again. But with that, we'll get started. We have way to go on the Anduin, Credit Clown on Johanna, Shimpoku on the Hanzo, Korix on Kael'thas, and the Lich Queen on Blaze. On the side of Souls and Slowmo, we have Nemesis on Junkrat, Mimius on Brightwing, Toxic Core on Anubarak, and Dauntress on the Nazebo, and Gazlo being played by Lone Wolf.
Let the battle begin.
There you go. I don't want to be too zoomed in. Right away, do you see the 4-man rotate? The traditional mid-game handshake. Something that you will have to be aware if your Icecrown is, as I was about to say it, is the displacement that Junkrat brings. Johanna maybe can get away with it, but if you are Anduin, if you are Kael'thas, not as much Hanzo, because you can leap over with your trait, but if you get flipped over with that mine, you're a rather immobile hero, and you're become an easy target. We do see the teams rotating between mid and bot. Toxic Core taking a bit of damage. You gotta be careful. You do have some spell shield, but if they're able to get a damage on you, they're sometimes rather squishy. We do see a noob rotating a little bit aggressive. Shimpoku and helping start their siege camp. With Souls and Slowmo looking to invade, and we actually do see a noob go in. And Hanzo gets booped out. And it looks like Toxic Core getting really low. Hanzo goes down, but it will be at the cost of a noob, and it looks like Credicone realizes he's not going to be able to secure that particular siege. A very aggressive early game invade on the side of Souls and Slowmo, picking up the siege camp, but at the cost, I guess, of one death, but worked out. They got 2 kills and the camp. Right away, prompts them to do their own. All the while, we do have the Gaslow and Blaze doing their offlaner duties. And with that, I forgot to show the talents there for you. And I'm sad to say we don't have a convection Kael'thas, unfortunately. We do see Souls and Slowmo able to pick up that bottom Siege Scam, and again with Brightwing being able to have that global. Can stay down here for a little bit, get some more soak. However, Icecrown rotating over to pick up the Bruiser Camp. Meanwhile, we don't see Souls and Slowmo do that, but right away they get a head start on the objective. See the members of Icecrown Citadel Knights rotating over. And we do see the Brightwing bottom lane. The trap is used, engage on a noob, able to be out and with his spell shield. But Brightwing caught up in the engage and with 5 health, not able to get away. Nemesis rather low. We did see before that happened, Souls and Slowmo able to pick up 23 of the little shrine monkeys. And so they still have time. Talk to Corky, gotta be careful again. We're upping really low, down to about 80 health, 20 health after the blind. Not able to secure the kill. And that might prompt a noob, will be helped up by the Brightwing, and we are tied at 26-26. A noob going in to engage. We have Korik backing off for a little bit to reset. Get him, use the sippy cup. And there goes the boob. Kael'thas being pushed back. Being focused, trying to get away. A noob diving in, but gets gravity lapse and goes down again. However, Souls and Slowmo able to pick up the Frozen Punisher. So actually, one of the strongest, actually, to say, with the Punishers. Korik's able to bait the Punisher over, but then focuses on Korik, which is not what you want. We do see them able to get relatively decent value out of this. It is the first one. Looks like they're going to be able to pick up the wall at least, and a little bit on damage on the structure there, the fort. Meanwhile, we do have Gaslow working on that Bruiser camp. The members of Icecrown backing up, low on health and resources in general. A noob was soaking mid, and Lich Queen on the Blaze trying to keep up with the soak as well. Even with that Frozen Punisher, we see Icecrown slightly ahead, about a quarter of a level. So even with losing the first Punisher, they were able to get a little bit ahead. As we see teams fall back to their rotations, we do have that top Bruiser camp that will have to be dealt with. And then we see the members of Souls and Slowmo looking to invade again. And we did see Nazeebo go full spider build, so that is something that I know that it would be interesting to see which particular build. It is a full spider build. And we have a replay of the first siege camp, but this time Icecrown in a better position. We did see Brightwing, I believe, teleport up and trying to help support that Bruiser camp and Blaze. If you gotta be careful. Ooh, Lich Queen with about 180 health barely gets away, and surprised to see. Oh, we do see Kael'thas coming over to help, but it looks like that will be going down. And so Blaze getting low on resources, having to back out, and it will survive with a tidbit of HP, but that can be easily picked up later. So with that, we do have 10s come online for both teams. We'll take a look at the level 10s. We have Bunker Drop, Light Bomb, Falling Sword, Dragon Strike, and Phoenix on the side of Souls and Slowmo. We have Gargantuan, Blink Heal, Gravel Bomb, Riptire, and Cocoon. We do see Toxic Core dive in, gets trapped by his own zombie wall. Riding Lapse doesn't connect. We do see Phoenix come out. Riptire comes out, and with the flanking damage from that Dragon Strike, able to pick up one member of Souls and Slowmo. Naziba going down, a noob going down, and we now see Johanna pursuing Brightwing, able to blink heal away, but not a bad trade. A couple of ultimates were used right before the objective, so if you're Souls and Slowmo, you know that you have a little bit of time before those come online. You do see Lich Queen rotate over on the Blaze to help pick up that Bruiser camp, provide some counter pressure in the top lane. Both teams on the objective now. And Johanna getting really low, getting trapped in the zombie wall, not able to get away. Barely. And Noob diving in rather aggressively, separating from his team. Hanzo gets trapped and then, barely able to get away. We see Johanna being cocooned. Shiboku rather low, probably needs to reset. We do see Kel'Thas being pulled by the Anduin. Dragon Strike got a little bit of value there. We see Light Bomb being used and hits on the noob. And Hanzo is being targeted by the Riptire. I believe that, yes, I was going to say that. Definitely will take him out. We do see a noob and Hanzo going down. Both teams still on the point fighting. With about 25 to 29 favoring Souls and Slowmo. Bunker being used. And without their tank, you would imagine you have to be a little bit more careful if you are Souls and Slowmo. We have 39 and so close, but again, Souls and Slowmo being able to pick up the second Punisher. Unfortunate. But again, like it's the power of Nazeebo and that Junkrat. The Dragon Strike being used out again. Provide some zoning, a little bit of damage. Nemesis actually took quite a bit of damage there. You see the second jump, Johanna able to bait it out, use the trait to walk away, but that second mid fort will be going down. With that, we do see the members of Souls and Slowmo pick up the bottom, or the siege camp on the side of Icecrown Citadel Knights. It looks like they're rotating down to pick up that bottom siege camp. We do have Blaze responding to that top wave. We do have that siege camp. It looks like they're looking to engage, but they gotta be careful. It is a 5v4. There aren't even talents as well. It looks like they were just trying to make sure they didn't get any value. Again, with a noob, can always provide very good value for sieging forts with the beetles. We did see Gas responding to the push from Blaze. Blaze rotating mid to help with that soak. And then Souls and Slowmo being able to pick up their siege camp. And right away moves over to get their own bruiser camp. As I said, we do see that top fort with very low HP. Didn't take much from Gaslow to be able to knock it down. And yes, the Junkrat. Junkrat able to snipe it. That prompts Icecrown Citadel Knights to rotate down, try to get some value. They could probably, I think we probably saw all members up at the top lane. And so they should be able to get a lot or most of this. We do see then the members of Souls and Slowmo look like they're going to hard engage on that top. That's probably going to prompt retreat on the side of Icecrown. And so they are going to be backing Brightwing, still helping get some soak mid. They're going to get that top wall with Beetles, Gargantuan, and also that Bruiser camp. But they only get the wall. but still softens up the top lane a bit. The objective is top lane, so this is going to be a very significant Punisher because it will be going to an exposed keep. We do see 16 being picked up though, and so if you are Icecrown, this is maybe one of the times you want to take advantage of that and engage. But it looks like Souls and Slowmo recognize this, and they're just about to be 16. And so it looks like Icecrown is not going to be able to engage and take advantage of 16 advantage. They did have to respond to that potential push on the bottom fort. We do see the members of Souls and Slowmo actually begin to invade the Bruiser camp. So we've seen very aggressive invades on the side of Souls and Slowmo. Juhana being cocooned right away. With Riptide coming out now, we do see the Gravel Bomb and chunking down Anduin, but we do see a few members going down. Actually, the Flame Strike, and I believe it wasn't Phoenix that did him a lot of damage. We do have two members on the side of Icecrown of Souls and Slowmo going down, so they're gonna have to back up and give away. So that right away they recognize we're not gonna be able to contest this. So let's try and give value somewhere else. And with a Nazebo, obviously, has Gargantuan, he's going to be able to drop that on that bottom fort. And we do see Icecrown say, hey, let's get some push. Blaze can solo this for the most part. And this bottom fort will be going down. So not all is lost from that trade. But they were able to at least take down that top fort. We do still have that Bruiser pushing in a little bit. Gazlo and a noob will push, or clear that, I should say. We see Kael'thas come back to deal with that camp push. Brightwing still getting some value bottom. And we do have who's an Arcane, right? Arcane Punisher being picked up. And so let's see what they're going to be able to do with this. So let's see who bait out the jump. A noob baiting out the jump. We don't see a follow-up. Gargantuan being used to provide some zoning and damage. We see Dragon Strike come out. Not really hitting anybody. Johanna was in the backline, actually. I did not notice that. Got Cocoon, but it's now pulled out. Gets away from the engage from a noob. And let's see if Icecrown is going to soft siege Senboku in a very bad spot. Gets pulled again. We do see Riptide coming out. He's going to do quite a bit of damage on that Hanzo. Light Bomb coming up. He actually leaps away. And Gravel Bomb hits none of the members on the side of Icecrown. We still see an aggressive chase. Blaze being booped out. Able to stun that Gazlo, but we do see both members relatively slow. Blaze engaged on. Oh, the Flame Strike. Don't spread the bomb. Kael'thas getting quite a bit of value. We do see that bottom siege can push in a little bit. It should be cleared out relatively quickly. I don't think it will get too much value. We do see Souls and Slowmo move over to get their Bruiser camp. And then the 4-man dealing with the mid push while Blaze helps clear the bottom. And so with level 20 almost online for Icecrown, this is where if you're Icecrown, you probably just want to safe soak this, right? If you are Souls and Slowmo, you may potentially want to try and get a pick and then take advantage of that, or maybe just back off and wait for 20. It looks like they may get 20 before the next objective. They're going to have to Soko 3 lanes, and they're able to do so with that Brightwing. They'll get a little bit of help from that Siege Cap again. And so Souls and Slowmo has been very aggressive with invading the camps on the side of Icecrown. And so now with 20s being picked up, you do have the upgraded bunker, upgraded light bomb, indestructible, upgraded dragon strike, and then flamethrower for increased range. So if you're Icecrown, I think you're rotating. I guess you're not. I guess they're just gonna say, let's try get value somewhere, force them to rotate on us. Pings are coming out, but they gain some structured value. But with that, Solos and Slomo moves over to take the Bruiser camp, and looks like Icecrown recognizes this. I don't think they're going to be able to get there in time to stop. And again, that helps them actually pick up level 20, so they were able to get level 20, but in next objective. So this is going to be at the bottom shrine. We do see the 5-man rotating together. Going to get a position and a head start with the members of Icecrown helping clear that camp. So again, this will be a crucial objective. We see the cocoon right away, surprisingly, on the Johanna, which was going to be broken. So now we do see the engage with the falling sword. Anu does dive in the background, but he's Toxico, you're separated from the rest of the teams and not able to get the teleport from the Brightwing, and does go down. However, with 25 of the monkeys on the objective, we do see Bunker being used, Johanna and Blaze in there, and Lich Queen very low also goes down. We do have Johanna able to use a trait, but that spider build chunking away at all the members of Icecrown Citadel Knights. Dragon Strike coming out, and he actually gets a Brightwing. We do see the Ice Block coming out. With only 3 more needed, 2 more. Can he get 1 more? No, he does not get, unfortunately. We just needed 1 more. There's 2 members, and they were not able to secure 1. So that really hurts. Not only did you get a full team wipe, but also you weren't able to secure the objective. And this is a Mortar Punisher, and this will be going straight to core. And I imagine that this is probably going to be taking out that bottom keep with a few of the members of Souls and Slomo out for another 15 or so seconds. I imagine this is definitely going to be going down. We do see the jump on Anu. We got to be careful. Light bomb. Oh, able to get away, but that could have potentially gone bad and would have been a pretty big stagger death. And let's see if they decide to, with a relatively healthy Punisher at it was like 18 minutes. Oh, and again that spider build, able to get a big chunk of Johanna, able to use a trait, but we do see Hanzo being cocooned. Gargantuan was used in that position. We do see Lich Queen coming in for the engage, and then immediately drops Bunker. But with that, some of your tools are being used. It looks like, we do have the ult coming out from Gasso, catching the Blaze, but being a beefy Blaze, able to survive, and was pulled out by the Anduin. So we do see the first keep going down on the side of Souls and Slomo. So that's something they're going to have to manage. That siege camp they picked up earlier, it did help secure the mid fort. So as far as structures, very good job on the side of Icecrown being able to kind of flip the map. It was favoring Souls and Slomo quite a bit. We do see Johanna rotating kind of aggressive, gets spooked out by the mine, but I imagine they can't really contest this. We do see Dragon Strike come out, but I think with the upgraded Dragon Strike, that's going to be available relatively quickly. It is still about a 60-second cooldown. We have the members of Souls and Slomo rotating to deal with that camp pressure and catapult pressure. So that's something that now Icecrown can use to take advantage of. And with that, they recognize actually missed it. They very good play actually to take that top fort. So they saw Souls and Slomo, and I think it was a complete 5-man rotate down. And so then Icecrown decided, hey, we can take this top keep for free. And so now they actually got 2 keeps down. So now they're gonna have to, if you are Souls and Slomo, have to be aware of that catapult pressure, but as we mentioned, we do have our Nazebo at 176 stacks. And so Bioinfection was completed. So now this is where I imagine he was already hurting, but now he's going to be really hurting. And if you're Icecrown, especially if you're Hanzo and Kel'Thas and even Anduin, you have to be very careful because those spiders can definitely eat through your health pool relatively quickly. And I imagine that's probably the #1 target if you're Icecrown, but obviously not necessarily the easiest one to get to. We did see Sos and Slowmo try and clear up some of those catapults and help create some more space. They rotate over to help clear that camp mid, but we do see Icecrown be able to posture right away with 20s online for Sos and Slowmo. I didn't actually make it. We do have Invisible Friends, the Bomb Toss, extra oomph, and Rewind. So it looks like they're just going to try and poke out. John with a Heart Engage misses with the Falling Sword. We do see Light Bomb fall out. Bravo Bomb does fall. Bunker is being used. Can Chorus get in there? Chorus gets in there with very little HP, but it looks like it's going to be going down with 60 HP does go down. We see Anduin and Kel'Thas go down. Credit Clown with a little bit of HP. Blaze going down as well. And it looks with that we have a 4-for-2 trade in favor of Sos and Slowmo, but right away we do see 3 catapults. It should not be an issue. We did see the Gazelle go back and respond to that. Dauntress coming over to try and soften up that mid keep. And we see an Arcane Punisher come out. We have Creticon trying to create some space, but you do have to be careful with that Cocoon and that Rewind. I believe it's available. You can potentially stun lock you. We do see the Punisher moving straight into core. Jumps at Johanna, able to bait it over. I'm surprised Johanna didn't bait it up to the top fort. And that, oh god, that core melted. And again, the power of that level 23 fully stacked Nazebo on display right there. And overall, good showing by both teams. We did see that for the most part of the early game, Souls and Slowmo was able to get a lot of value. They got the first 2 Punishers. And then the third one being picked up got some value, and they were able to get the second 4, but it came down to that last Punisher. And again, as I mentioned, that's something you had to be careful of. The damage from that Nazebo, look at the final damage there. Calphas actually was a top, but we did see again Junkrat. Gazelle actually coming in second, and then Nazebo, and then Hanzo. As far as healing, Brightwing about to, 20k, 30k almost more than the Anduin. And then XP, we did see Blaze at the top, fall behind by Gazelle and Kel'Thas. I'll switch over to the talent screen for you to review. But overall, very close game. We did see 13-8 actually in the favor of Icecrown. But as we know with this particular map, especially when you have a Nazebo, if you can secure the last Punisher and you get a few members of the other team down, you potentially can easily end. All right, so with that, we're going to take a quick little break while we wait to see which map will be going on for game 2. So I'll see you all shortly. All right. It looks like both teams are joining the lobby, and it looks like we're going to be going to Brax's Holdout, and this was picked by Icecrown Citadel Knights. So again, opting for map pick again. So again, Braxis being the map that everybody loves to hate. I actually didn't again get to mention my map ban screen is still not working correctly, but I will mention that Altrak, Pass, Dragonshire were banned by Icecrown Citadel Knights, and we did have Towers of Doom and Battlefield of Eternity being banned out by the side of Souls and Slowmo. And so with that, like I mentioned, we are going to be going to Brax's Holdout. So just waiting for everybody to join and ready up. So again, going back to the previous match in Game 1, we did have strong showing by both teams. But again, it really just came down to that last fight, right? And Nazebo being able to be fully stacked, and especially a full Q build Nazebo actually got quite a bit of damage out there. So I'm wondering if Nazebo potentially be banned out here. This is also a pretty good map from Nazebo. So I'd imagine we will probably see a ban on that Nazebo here, potentially. Junkrat can also be rather effective. So curious to see if they follow the same bans. Looks like teams are getting ready. Looks like everybody looks to be ready. So we'll be probably starting in the next few seconds. So again, Braxis, ever since that most recent update, wasn't quite as snowbally as before, but still can be a rather snowbally map compared to others. And one of the maps that can end relatively short, right? So it's not a map where it's guaranteed likely that both teams will go to 20 like Volskaya and even Infernal Shrines. Braxis is one of those that can end relatively quickly, so something you do have to be mindful. A 2-lane map, and it looks like we're getting started. It will be again moving to the draft screen for Braxis Holdout. And so again, Souls and Slowmo having first pick, and we'll be also doing the first ban. See the Stukov being banned out again. And Icecrown will counter that with the Brightwing. So we're looking at the targeting the healers right away. We do have May being banned out. So we do have, I think that's the same actually, right, as previous match. And then Rexar being banned out. Rexar obviously a very strong hero on this particular map. We do see the first pick Junkrat again from the side of Souls and Slowmo. So let's see if Icecrown Citadel Knights will follow the same strategy as last. We do see a Leo being picked up. Interesting to see. Typically you'll see the offlaner being held until the end, but Leo relatively strong against a lot of the melee, but again, that leaves you open for non-traditional offlaners, right? Even a Maltiel doesn't do too bad into a Leor. We do see Anduin. And right, once again, we see Stukov, Brightwing, and Anduin, the most highly contested healers being picked up right away. Or Tannis. Or Tannis should be able to get some decent value depending on if Leoric can land his spooky hand or not. That's usually what determines if Leoric can trade out. But Artanis should be relatively okay. More so later than early versus Leoric. Like, it brings us to the second ban, and we do have Sylvanas being banned out. Again, Sylvanas, one of those heroes, can help make this a more of a snowbally map. Then we'll see what Sos and Slowmo will respond with. You see an Uther. So obviously, way to go. Being kind of banned. Oh! We see a Zagara. So now the interesting question would be, is this a 4-man or a solo Leo? We do see way to go to the Malfurion. This is to be a pretty good map for Malfurion. We have Tassadar being picked up. I believe he was banned out last time. And we do have a new Barak being picked up by Toxic Core. Again, on the side of Sos and Slowmo. For the most part, relatively the same. You do have Junkrat and the noob. We do have Johanna. But that's pretty much it. Let's see what will be the last pick. Hanzo. I was going to say, imagine he would go to Hanzo if it was available. It looks like it may fit. But again, I'm curious to see if that's going to be a 4-man Leoric or Zagara. I mean, you can make the point that Zagara can definitely outsiege the Artanis. Won't be able to hold the point, but if that's not what you're trying to achieve, you can delay the objective a bit. And again, Braxis being a map that you don't necessarily have to win right away, right? As long as you're able to control one of them and you can siege down the opponent structures, you can actually get quite a bit of value. So that's actually a strategy that sometimes you see some teams employ. Deploy, I should say, employ. It's been a long day for me. And with that,
facility powering up.
We're about to begin.
We do see on the side of Icecrown Citadel Knights, way to go on the Malfurion, Credit Clown again on the Johanna, Shimboku again also on the Hanzo, and we do have Korix on the Zagara, and then Lich Queen playing the Yorick. We have Nemesis again playing Junkrat, Dauntress on the Tassadar, Mimius on the Anduin, Toxic Core on the Nubarak, and Lone Wolf on his 2004 Warcraft name, XX. Everybody had that name back in 2004 in Warcraft, or World of Warcraft. XX Legolas XX. We do see the 4-man. At bottom is Zagara going around, putting some vision to help with a potential rotation. Looks like it's going to be setting up to help make this a 2-3. So maybe, no, it's not. So again, this will be a match we need to watch Leo be able to treat decently. Again, if he's able to land this spooky hand, otherwise that Artanis will get some value. And then looking at the level 1s, we do see awesome renewal from the Leoric. Do static charge on the Tassadar. For the most part, what I'd imagine. We did see Protector or on the Artanis is looking to stack. Oh, the boop on Korix And just like the previous match, having to be mindful of those mines. Mindful of those mines. Getting moved back into the enemy team definitely puts you in a rough spot. And Souls and Slomo able to capitalize on that.
The beacons have activated. Control them.
Good to see. It looks like bottom's gonna be, and Glitch being relatively healthy. I mean, Wolf is, I'm stacking, but oh wait, oh goes down to the diving Junkrat, and Toxic having to back up as well. Trimpoku taking a lot of damage, and Junkrat proving again to be rather annoying. And without their healer, Criticon able to get away, getting poked out by that. And we see, oh, the spooky hand misses, and so Lich Queen having to, oh, gets swapped back in. We do see Lone Wolf taking some damage. It looks like Lich Queen able to get away, but they're able to secure bottom. It did look like potentially, I thought they were going to be able to get both. We do see Lich Queen get their health. We do see Tassel rotating top. Oh, if you see that, you back off. You have to imagine that they're both, or at least two members, and you do see Shinpoku on that Hanzo rotating up, maybe trying to provide some vision and help. I guess Artanis went back for some resources, and we do see Icecrown able to channel a little bit. And again, you don't have to channel the whole thing. You can channel a little bit, back off, channel a little bit, back off. That's all that matters. If it takes you 10 minutes to get the complete objective, you still get the same wave, right? Well, I guess you could say slightly stronger because of the scaling, but it's okay if you only get a little bit of time. So that was a pretty chunky advance on the objective, and again able to secure it again, even for the slightest of moments of now. But if you're Hanzo, you gotta be careful. That swap, does he have it straight up able to leap away? But I think wait, go down, and likely going down, but we did see Artanis going down. But we do see a 2-for-1, and actually a very favorable trade. And if you're Lich Queen, I want to say you, oh, it doesn't have the tap. You could have maybe just gone back in. I doubt that Tassiter would try to contest you. But with it being relatively short cooldowns, I guess it's better to reset, get some more mana, get some more health. And just as I mentioned, you don't have to get the objective. You can start sieging the opponent's structures, and they're getting a little bit of value. And what we do see the trade with Lone Wolf going bottom, trying to see if we can maybe get some swaps. The mine being placed on the bottom. It looks like you're gonna have to be able to secure that, but Lich Queen able to trade and lands a Spooky Hand Dauntress, and you are Dauntress. You have to back off. The Q lands, but doesn't get too much damage out. We do see the Artanis rotating up, but with about half, 56%, they're able to secure it again. And like I mentioned, it'll be for a little bit, for about 10% more. They're at 68, but if you're Icecrown, you start sieging. You have a Zagara. You have actually, I would say, arguably say, a better siege engine than Souls and Slowmo. Lich Queen getting rotated on, recognizes and able to get away, being the Leoric. But you do see the one tower go down. We don't see much damage on top, maybe on the gate. But so far, this is favoring Icecrown, recognizing that maybe they should pick up a camp. We're getting to about 5 minutes, almost approximately even level. And we do see two members now trying to get some damage, maybe at the top. Camp being picked up. They do rotate on the Anduin. The root comes out. Dauntress, gotta be careful. And this has turned into a 2-3. They're trying to get some value top, but I'd imagine this slightly favors Icecrown. Leo, you pretty much can't do anything. I'd imagine you would, if I were Lorik, maybe you want to get that top camp. But it looks like they're sieging bottom. But now with that, We do have a 2-3, and they are trying their best to prevent that damage. We do see the root landing. Zagara goes down, but the Anduin goes down. So this is, I would say, arguably a better trade. We do see Shiboku rotating on the Hanzo, maybe to try and help cap that. Leoric gets booped onto the objective, able to Wraith walk away. And it looks like for now, Icecrown will be able to. Oh, that Hanzo chunking out. Oh, stay on the point. Just stay on the point. We do see Anduin rotating out, and Toxic Core taking quite a bit of damage, and they're gonna looks like gonna be able to hold this, or not quite, but again, 86%. Oh, that swaps ever so close, and then the root on Lich Queen, but able to actually got booped away, got helped by the Junkrat. As a Junkrat, you always have to be mindful that you don't want to help the enemy team when they're rooted, and it swapped into the actual trap. But we do see Tazza going down. We see Hanzo going down, and Lich Queen going down to the mines from that Junkrat. We did see level 10s be picked up by both teams. But again, Zagara, the siege engine on this map, able to now slowly whittle away that bottom fort. So let's look at real quickly at the level 10s. We have Entomb, Tranquility, Devouring Maw, Falling Sword, and Dragon Strike. And with that, we do see Archon, Light Bomb, Cocoon, and Reptire, and then Suppression Pulse being picked up by Artanis. They're diving relatively deep, but Johanna can walk away. We do see two members up top now. We do have a 52. We do have that. Oh, Reptire going to be used. Both members are relatively low, pinging for help. It looks like Shiboku, you're going to be out of luck and out of life. Does go down, but two members, Nemesis being rather low. We do see Corey being swapped. We see three members. And again, if you're Icecrown, you just want to back off and I think continue the plan of sieging that bottom. They were able to get half of that bottom fort, and I think go back to your plan of soft sieging that. But with that, now with the wave and three members of Icecrown, looks like they're going to be able to get Valley. It looks like they're actually going to be able to get this fort. And the Devourer being set up, and do they have any follow-up? You see the catching them, and right away gets slept, and Dragon Strike able to maybe get him down. We see Toxic Core with about 100 HP. No, Shiboku! Oh! With the Beetles and the stun, able to get Shiboku, but looks like they're going to be able to trade out. So both teams, we still don't have the first objective completely channeled. We were trying to trade, but obviously Artanis is a little bit stronger with about 145 stacks, able to control that top. But again, if you're Souls in slowmo, they're now trying to get some camps. And we also see the side of Icecrown pick up their own siege camp, booster camp on the side of Souls in slowmo, Artanis on their siege camp as well. So we do see 13s online first for Souls in slowmo, but surely be picked up right away by Icecrown. Oh, the Reptire coming out, getting some value on Zagara, but able to walk away. We do see that fight continuing at top. Cocoon on the Johanna, and Korix being targeted. Able to get the three-man maul, but I don't think able to get much after that. And we do see Malfarian fall. So now at this point, with 4 members, and it looks like they're going to be able to channel pretty much a good portion of this. I don't see Icecrown with the ability to stop this. So it looks like it's going to be most likely 86% for Icecrown. And as we see the siege of bottom fort, Looks like they're able to get this with that camp and the Beatles from Anubarak. Or, no, oh, Johanna getting really low. Use this Falling Sword to get away. We do see the blind. We do see the full channel favoring Souls and Slowmo. We do see Ortana's rotating down. And Rod, oh, way to go. Light Bomb comes out, but both the Light Bomb actually misses. So we do have the big push coming in the bottom wave. However, with Zagaro being able to provide a little bit of siege, this is so likely, at minimum, the bottom powers. And oh, Zagaro got booped out to the other side and goes down. Again, that displacement from Junkrat getting a lot of value. And it looks like that bottom fort will be going down. And with level 16s online now, this is where, as I mentioned, it could be a very snowbally map. We do see then Tomb coming out on Toxic Core, followed up with that displacement. It looks like, oh, a noob gets swapped, he goes down. Fallen Sword not able to save, and are they going to full commit to this? It looks like it. The core's at 82%. Johanna very low. We do see the swap miss. And then we do see Tassiter. It looks like they're trying to go for it. They're committing to this. With Toxic Core going, not Toxic Core going down, Credit Clown. We do see the Archon. It's at 11%, 7%, 5%, 2%, and 0%. And again, the first channel, the full channel, Souls and Slowmo being able to take it all the way to the core. And as I mentioned earlier, this being the map that can be rather snowbally and can end quickly. Oops. And so we bring up the stats screen for you to review. This time, we did see a few more kills favoring the side of Souls and Slowmo, 14-8. And again, a rather this time more of a stronger showing from Souls and Slowmo. When we look at the damage, Zagaro able to provide a lot of damage early, but again, they weren't able to secure the full objective. And as the game went on, obviously, the Junkrat able to provide displacement. As I mentioned, that was going to be an issue, something you would have to look out for if you are Icecrown Citadel Knight. And in both matches, we look at the healing, very close on both sides. The XP, we were able to get quite a bit of suck, but for the longest time, we did see Junkrat and Artanis at the top lane, and so they were able to push off that Theoric and counter the bottom push from Icecrown Citadel Knights. But again, we do see Souls and Slowmo taking game 2 in the series, and now we'll be moving on to the the coastal final. Let me see if I can get somebody from Souls and Slowmo. I guess I'll go to the lobby. I'll just join a random one. And so this is a different outcome from their first meetup. Actually, I did cast their first matchup, and it did favor Icecrown Citadel Knights 2-0, if I'm recalling correctly. I mean, I casted that match. It's been actually was quite a few weeks ago, and able to flip the outcome. And here we are. Sorry. I was talking to myself while I was waiting for one of you to join me. And we are joined. Sorry. with Nemesis and Dauntress. And again, first of all, congratulations on your 2-0 victory against Icecrown. And so, how are you? First of all, the customary question of how are you feeling?
My heart
Hyped.
won't stop beating.
Your heart won't stop beating.
Oh
I
my
know that
god.
feeling. So, I want to run through. I have a couple questions regarding the first and second match, and I'll try to make this quick. Let you get back to your team celebrate. But looking at game one, we did see Icecrown take you to Infernal Shrines, and I'm trying to recall from the previous match. I'm trying to pull up the stats from the previous match. I should have had it up. But again, going back to the first match, again even before this, I guess, what was your mindset? Because again, trying to recall, they did beat you 2-0, right, in the first meetup?
No, we did. It
2-1.
was 2-1. Yeah.
Oh, 2-1.
We-
Okay, that's right. It was 2-1. I casted the last one. As you can see,
Yeah,
long
we
day.
we beat them on D-Shire on that one.
Okay, that's right. And they beat you on towers, right? Or am I just making stuff up?
No, we
It's-
banned towers on one.
Okay, that's
We
right.
lost on Curse. We lost on Curse.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Yeah, that one was a
right.
mess. It was a total mess.
Yeah. So, what was your mindset then, coming out from that match? So it did favor them 2-1, but what was your mindset coming into this particular match?
Going in, it was, let's take away what they were good at last time. We expected them to try to do the same strategy, which was zone us out and just control the area, which, we're like, all right, we knew what they loved. We took away what they loved and just fought them heads up.
Yeah, and so this time, it did. Yeah, you did. What we saw in the first match, banning out a lot of the healers and selecting a lot of the healers, but you did ban out Sukov and the Mei, and then I'm trying to look at the logs of what they banned out. But I obviously did try to take away those two heroes that they play quite often. And so and then they banned out Asmodan and Sonya, and so I found those to be interesting. Sonya is a solid pick, obviously here, but it looks for the most part, their side, they were able to get a few of the pieces they have played with before, which is Johanna and Anduin. But then you came up with a noob, a Gaslow, Brightwing, Nazebo, and Junkrat, and I felt at the beginning of Inferno Shrines, you had the slight advantage early, but I did note that as the game goes on, obviously, that Nazebo gets stronger. And so, can you kind of run us by real quickly through that first matchup? Because it was relatively close.
Dauntress, I'll leave that to you.
I was totally distracted, missed half of that, but I know with the Nez Evo, I knew that once I got my stacks done, it was going to be huge damage at. The Hanzo was pretty scary with the repeatable ult. He was really, with the fact that he could zone us with that and do damage at the same time, and a lot of times we couldn't get out. But I think our big goal was to just, in the end, we decided, who our threat was, and we went for it. And I believe that was the Anduin Kel'Thas.
Yeah.
And then we just left it to our tank to really kind of zone out certain targets that would stop us from getting these kills, like the Hanzo and Johanna using the thing
Yeah.
with the wrap.
And so, for the most part, they actually were able to get kills on you, but you were able to secure the objective still a couple times. Except for the second to last, which was the bottom one. With that, they actually were able to get the first of the bottom keeps and the top keep. So your keep was exposed, but I mean it went back and forth relatively, but it came down to that final fight, right? And so there was a lot of R buttons that were pressed, and I did mention that it doesn't matter who you are, Johanna. If you're Blaze, a fully stacked Nazebo is obviously very scary, and if you land the full damage of the spiders and follow up, right, and anybody can goes down, and it seems like that's what happened, right? Quite a few members on the side of Icecrown fell in that final fight, and then, I mean, the rest is obvious.
Yeah, really on that, I think it was the final fight. when I saw the bunker go down and Joe and Blaze go into it, it was easy. Just I was just like, you want to what? Pop down everything right there. Pop my ult down. Put around a circle of zombies, and as soon as they come out, they're gonna get stuck.
Yeah,
Or I'm gonna zone them into exactly where I want them to be for my team
yeah, and
with the wall.
that's kind of like the negative side of that bunker, right? Because it makes you kind of very easy target, right? If you can predict it correctly, and it looks
Mhm.
like that ended up being, and obviously it was pretty much it came down to whoever really won that fight was gonna pretty much win that, and obviously it came out favorably on your side. Now moving on to match 2, moving on to Braxis, and again this was picked by Icecrown Citadel Knights. And so you went with a very similar strategy, banning out Stukov May, and they banned out the Brightwing and Rexar. And so we did see, which I thought was interesting, the Leo pick coming out so early. And I did mention there's very few. Most it's a favorable matchup for a lot of the offlaners, but there's a few that can kind of deal with the Auric, right? And Artanis is definitely one of them. Not so much early, but later on, it gets stronger, especially as you stack. But what were your comms like, or what were you trying to do is when you recognize that I was mentioning during the match that they don't necessarily have to win the objective completely, right? They were slowly picking up, 10% at a time or so, and it looked early on that it was favoring them, and they were able to get actually some structure damage with that Zagara. Um, and so I did note that you decided to kind of switch up the strategy. So can you maybe walk us through what you were dealing? Because I mean, it literally was the only objective, right? It was one channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing was we noticed that Lone, he wasn't, I wouldn't say struggling at the top in offlane, but it was, hey, we're not getting any push. What can we do different? So we did a couple rotations to figure out whether I should go up top as Junkrat or Taz should go up and kind of just stall the Oric. And
Mhm.
each time we rotated, they kind of never really answered. And
Yeah.
then the time when I went up there, no answer. We kept pushing, and finally they sent it to Hanzo. But at that point, we had taken a wall. We started taking fountains, and the damage was done. And so we just kept up with the rotates, and I felt like it kind of snowballed from there. They never really picked it up, and we were fine with giving our fort because we were more confident in keeping our off lanes fort as opposed to giving up just a 4-man fort, and it seemed like it really worked out.
Yeah, and that's something that I did note is that we did see, I think it was Tassadar first, and then after that to see the Junkrat, and that seemed to be like the 2-man that kind of worked a little better. Junkrat able to kind of whittle away the top towers, and then eventually you were able to get the top fort. And so with that, it made it a lot more dangerous for Leo to try and cap the top objective. And so then it came down to you got a team, it was an engage in bottom. You're able to get that secure 100%. And so, did you imagine that you were going to go all the way to core?
No, no,
No.
I honestly no. Like, but we started getting kills, and it's like, hey, we could pull back, or we have a lot of momentum. Let's keep it up. And the kills kept coming every time. We're like, hey, pull. We get another kill, and it's like we just stay in it, and we just kept the throttle down.
Yeah. Eventually, we noticed that it was a winning thing, even though a lot of the time we were calling to pull back. We noticed it was a win, so we just went all in, all or nothing.
Yeah, and something I did point out too, um, and it was you, Nemesis, right on Junkrat. You got a lot of really good picks just with the mine, right? You displaced that Zagara. I think at least a couple times that I saw, and especially at the bottom push. And I actually think that was one of the key kills that helped secure that bottom fort. And then yeah, I mean, it was like I was talking throughout the match. It's a lot shorter map, right? And it could get very snowbally, and you kind of prove my point that it's a map that one objective, and it went all the way to the core. But with that, I don't have any other kind of questions. A lot of the matches were pretty straightforward. That match was pretty straightforward, except kind of the rotation that you kind of helped you mitigated as far as when they were pushing bottom. But with that, I guess obviously you're going to be waiting for the winners of 30 Seconds of Mosh and Weird League Airlines. I can't remember my own team name, right? On Saturday. So we've been playing on Saturdays. So you'll be playing the winner of that. But we'll see how that goes. But I'll leave you. I know you want to join your teammates and celebrate your victory. And without, I'll leave you to any shout outs or anything you want to say to celebrate tonight. Anyways.
Dontrus, go ahead. You lead. Okay, he is distracted.
Sorry.
I got to shout out to the entire team. I mean, it's been a bumpy ride from the start to now, and we've pulled it together in many ways. We've come together as a huge team. We play like we're brothers out there, and it's awesome. I gotta give huge props to Verd. He actually takes the time to deep dive into stuff. We have matches that we review that we really lost hard, and he tells us where we improve, and the guys study up, and we actually come back and we come fighting, and that's what we did here. I'm super proud of him. And then lastly, I gotta steal this from Dodgers. I gotta shout out to my wife. She deals with my shenanigans of me staying late and playing the slate, but yeah, she's been awesome through this entire season.
Yes, we always have to thank those that deal with our shenanigans, right?
Absolutely.
And yeah, piggyback on some of the shoutouts from Nemesis there, especially his wife. And Piggy, and yeah, thank you for casting, especially after your long day. I'm sure that was like, holy moly. I had to make sure we finished it quick for you.
I'm at that point where you're beyond tired. So it's like I'm here. It's
second win.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also a shout out to the other team, Icecrown Citadel Knights. They gave us one of our probably best matches we've had in a long time. Like, that was intense. That every second seemed like it could have gone either way. And I wish them the best in the upcoming seasons and play. And yeah, and I again, thanks to Verd, he has made us all so much better in the way we play, and if it wasn't for him, I don't think we could have come as far as we did.
Well, great, and again, congratulations. And with that, I'll let you go and celebrate with your team. And again, thanks for the great showing. I was happy to be able to cast it, and even though it was kind of like mellow most of the fight, but I guess most people have me muted anyway, so it doesn't matter. As long as you have a video you can watch. But yeah, like I said, obviously after Saturday's matchup, you'll have obviously a clear idea of who you're going to be facing next. But with that, again, thanks and best of luck, right? In the next, the Coastal Final for Division E East.
Thank you, and best of luck in your upcoming match there.
Yeah, and thanks for the cast. Really appreciate it. I know it was last minute.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Awesome. Have a good night.
You too. Okay, so with that wraps up our cast, at least for tonight. We'll be, again, 2-0 win on the side of Soz and Slowmo, able to, I guess, get the revenge win from the regular season matchup between Icecrown Citadel Knights. It actually did go 2-1. I was like, oh, it went 2-0. No, it went 2-1, even though I casted it. Again, long day for me. Again, appreciate all of you that followed and joined us for today. And with that, I'll be leaving you off with a little bit of music and then looking for, I don't think if there's any other casters that will be casting. Let me see. But anyways, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.
Mongoose